Folks, it is that day. It is your last chance until tonight, November 16th at midnight, to support your pals at the Smoking Tire by potentially taking home this BMW 135i that we have modified it according to our taste. That's right. We have partnered with veteran-owned GetEnteredToWin.com to give away the ultimate $30,000 daily drivable Canyon build. And this is video 3 in a 3-video series. And what we've done is we bought a clean but stock BMW 135i. We then, in video number 2, took it to a variety of trusted partners: Avis Autosport, HRE Wheels, West Coast Tire, South Bay Certified Collision Center, to have this car not just modified for Canyon duty with parts from KW, Optima, Motul, Cobb, Michelin, and more, but we've also, as James May would say, we've mended it.
Yes. We did some maintenance on the thing.
We did, yeah.
You know, Avis Autosport went through it and they pointed out, here are some things that we're going to want to do before we give this to one of you lucky people out there. And so we changed all the fluids, replaced those with modal fluids, also brake pads, rotors, all the diff fluid, the trans fluid. And then while they were in there, they noticed that, for example, the carbon deposits on the back of the intake had built up a lot. So they did their carbon cleaning. Anything like that stood out to them, the end links, the thrust bushing, they noticed tiny, tiny cracks, but we're like, yeah, we want to replace that so that one of you doesn't have to deal with it.
Right. Even at a discount, there was an over $9,000 maintenance bill for this car. We said, if you find it, you fix it. And so literally $9,000 we spent just servicing the car.
Yes.
Forget the aftermarket parts. So you are getting, if you are to win this thing, a hell of a car. All you got to do is go to the link in the video description, get yourself a coffee mug with my ugly face on it, drink coffee out of it for the next 30 years like my grandparents do with their Dick Cavett mugs, and then you could win this BMW 135i. Now, all that the car is done, it's ready to go, but we haven't driven it in the canyons yet. So today in this video, we're going to see how it do.
Yes.
Zach is going to drive first.
Have we done it correctly?
Yeah, have we done a good job? I mean, we've chosen the right parts. So were they assembled correctly and installed correctly? Is the result what we hoped it would be? Let's go.
All right, so let's do a second gear pull.
Oh, power's good.
So we have the Cobb tune on this, 50 state legal. It chose the most linear map that was uploaded to it. Adds like 80 pound-feet of torque, if I remember correctly. Pretty significant jump. Pretty significant.
Yeah, cyclist. And it's what they call the Stage 1 Plus. So it's set up for California 91 octane right now. Oh boy, look at this disaster. We're going to have to note these rocks on the way back down. That is not gone well. Could be rocks on the downhill side. It's very important for us that the car remained 50 state legal. So that's why we haven't really messed with the exhaust or the intake. We don't want to give someone a car and then send them to the ref. So
right.
This Cobb tuned 50 state legal, and you do get the access port if you win, so you could upload your own 93 or 100 octane maps later.
Yes, correct. This thing pulls so strong. So strong. I mean, it's a quick car out of the box, and then with the tune on it, I mean, even, we can't get into this gear now, but on the highway, like 4th gear from 70, it has so much torque down low.
What I'm noticing immediately over here is that the ride is excellent. You've got these ST coilovers mated with Cobb sway bars, and even though we've gone from an 18-inch to 18-inch factory to the 19-inch HRE wheel, the Michelin PS4 all-season tires that we got from West Coast Tire, they have a pretty soft sidewall. Something I like about Michelin tires that gives you a forgiving tire. So even with a 19, with this suspension setup, the ride is really good.
Yes.
And we had Avis Autosport set the ride height pretty close to stock, right?
Yeah, we wanted to be able to, drive around LA, go in and out of driveways, handle some of the very large bumps on the highway. So they set it to that ride height. They also corner balanced it, and they did a nice alignment on it. Not too aggressive, but a little bit more negative camber in the front.
And they did new bushings, but they're OEM bushings, not like Delrin bushings. So we haven't built a race car. The car has to be usable every day, but by doing the new bushings, you get that handling as fresh and tight as it can be without crossing over into race car.
Absolutely. I mean, I drove this car down to South Bay Collision Repair Center and back, and like the ride on the highway is nice, and it floats over some of those really big bumps. It settles them quickly. But then here, you know, where we're having some third gear and second gear corners, like the sway bars keep things flat and turn in a little quicker, but without making it, you know, so rigid that it's upset by any little bumps. It's really a nice mix. It's a nice balance.
How do the brakes feel? They're OEM, but they're brand new rotors, pads, and fluid.
Brakes feel very good. We have really high temp fluid in here, so they should withstand any amount of canyon driving you'd want to do in a day.
Yeah, you should be good for a track
Nice
day,
progressive
too.
pedal. You can kind of feel them gripping up the further you get into the stroke, which is nice. I mean,
yeah, it feels nice.
Yeah. And it's nice knowing they're brand new, because the ones that were on the car when it arrived were a little bit old, a little tired, a little bit of surface rust.
The brakes were shot and the tires were shot. And so just replacing those two things made a big difference. And we thought about maybe doing a big brake kit, but this car actually comes with pretty good brakes from the factory. So we thought, you know what, just get the OEM hardware, but make it brand new. And that'll give whoever gets this thing, you know, 40 or 50,000 miles of good brake performance.
I think your turn.
It is, but that's not a good place.
That's not a great. That one looks like it's about to fall in the ocean.
Yeah. There's one. The one over here is better, I think. I love the size of this car. I'm pretty sure we appreciated it when it was new, but I certainly appreciate it more now that everything else is like really big. Like, you could fit a person behind you. The two of us fit in this car really well. There's plenty of leg room, plenty of headroom. And it doesn't need a giant footprint in order to have those things.
No, I agree. It is slightly louder in here because we've added a motorsport transmission mount to the car. So the shifting feels a little bit more notchy, a little bit more firm, but it does add a little NVH higher in the rev range.
Yeah, that's the only kind of like give and take, right? Like the rest of the mods were sort of meant to like improve the car with no downside, but eventually you start getting to a point where you have to give up some kind of refinement for performance, and that seems to be the thing. The good news is, if the winner doesn't like that, it's not a particularly expensive or hard thing to go back to. That's a choice that we made.
True.
But you could go back to the stock one if you wanted. Is this guy going to let us by, or is he? We'll see. There's a straightaway here, and I feel like he might wave us around. Yeah. It's important to not commit vehicular manslaughter when you're just out for a drive.
Very important.
The turn-in is really good. These tires, you know, for all seasons especially, are really, really nice. And it's a warm day up here, but not too hot. But they really have a nice amount of grip, especially compared to the very old and tired Pirelli all seasons that were on this car before.
Yes.
The tires that were on it before weren't bad tires. They were just old and tired. A tired tire?
Tired tires.
I really like the torque in third gear.
Yeah. These are, I mean, this is a quick car. It was quick anyway, but now, I mean, anything that gains this much power, it's a stout machine.
And I like the shifter feel. I actually think it's a fair trade to have the shifter feel like this. It's very crisp. It's got good throw. I like these seats. They hold you in really well.
Yep. Very adjustable.
This is a good little section here, isn't it?
Yeah, this is a great road. This
Fourth is good, too.
I was one of those people when these came out that the looks didn't hook me, and I was just like, I'm not sure about this. But the 335, by comparison, felt so big and heavy.
Yeah.
Like this is right. This is right.
Yeah, the looks have aged well.
Yep.
The size has definitely aged well. The formula has aged well. And that's why these cars, even the base cars, are still expensive. I mean, the base car, it's not like we bought like a $10,000 car and modded it. The base car was $19,000. And that was with a car that had a bunch of deferred maintenance, you know, at 94,000 miles on it.
Yeah.
And it was still 20 grand almost, you know. So basically that pile of rocks was right up. Oh, it was the next one.
Yeah, it was on the
It was on the inside of the next one, yeah. You know, these cars still have a lot of value to BMW enthusiasts. Because the formula is really good and something that they don't really offer so much of anymore.
Yeah, I mean, all cars have gotten really, really big.
Yeah.
And BMW has done that, and then, you know, still has a manual that's harder and harder to find.
Yeah.
It just has like a little bit of that honesty and purity to it that their cars used to have.
Right. But this is a really nice car. I think overwhelmingly we've done a good job. Our partners at Avis Autosport at South Bay Certified Collision Center doing our body work for us.
Great job.
The HRE forged 520M wheels are great. These Michelin tires from West Coast Tire, they're great. Motul and Optima and all the people that kicked in parts, Cobb, ST suspensions. The collective is very good. And there's obviously going to be people out there that really know these cars and go, well, you should have added this, or you should have added this, or you should have done this. And if you win, you're free to continue the build.
Yeah.
Keep doing it. We wanted to keep this under 30,000. And although that may or may not have been strictly adhered to, maybe if you got it's conceivable this could be 30,000. The wheels are a little on the expensive side.
Right.
And that doesn't necessarily include maintenance. But for as far as what is one of the best daily drivable cars for this price point that you could also take to the canyons and have a great time in, this is definitely one of them, and this has been a fun project. So from now, when you're watching this video, until midnight tonight, Pacific time, midnight Pacific time, November 17th, 11:59 p.m., November 16th,
yes,
Pacific time. You can hit the link in the bio, in the description of this video, or in the bio of our Instagram page, and go to the page, buy yourself a coffee mug, and get entered to win our ultimate $30,000 daily drivable canyon car giveaway. And thanks to everyone who has entered so far and supported the channel, supported the veteran-owned business, Get Entered to Win. We certainly appreciate it. And if this turns out to be successful, we'll do another one.
Yeah.
So thanks for watching, and we'll see you later.